With Bitcoin right on the brink of entering Pound Town, Bitcoin faces a critical test just days after hitting new all-time highs. And with so much on the line, is it guaranteed that we will enter the bone zone before Bustage 2.0? I'm your host, Squirty Magoo, and so far this weekend has seen the most quiet, least volatile price action for Bitcoin in quite a long time. But this is why that is all about to change. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn in these absolutely time-sensitive alerts, as well if you're sending any bonuses, or if you're interested in earning rewards with our pool, make sure to check out the pinned comment below. And without any further Magoo, let's pump on in. Good golly, we have a lot to be talking about in this video, and as we talked about in the last video I posted on Friday, we talked about the bone zone and how I was hoping to get some entries here, and so far we haven't gone down there yet, okay? The whole video was pretty much talking about the hopes of us entering the bone zone before blasting off, and that is right in like the $57,000 to $58,000 level. However, this weekend so far has turned out to be extremely boring with the price action, and yeah, this is the 30-minute chart. If we can go to the 1 hour chart, you can see, I mean, over the last, what is this, like 20 hours, even longer than that, Bitcoin barely did anything. So we're going to be jumping into the charts here and specific things to be watching for. But first, I did want to cover that Shiba Inu hits a record high as Bitcoin eyes weekly price loss. It started exploding, and then Elon Musk was asked by a Shiba account if he's holding it, and he said he's not holding it, and then it started to dump, and then it started to pump again. Either way, I just think it's hilarious because a lot of people literally pulled some profits from Bitcoin, Ethereum, or just moved some positions to try and catch this pump. And again, it's basically Doge Summer 2.0 because Dogecoin had a lot of liquidity flood into it back in like April and May of this year. And that sucked a lot of volume out of some other top coins. And it looks like Shiba is doing the same thing here. I will say the only thing that I like better than Dogecoin about Shiba is that Shiba doesn't only pump just because Elon tweets, right? The only reason Dogecoin was pumping is because Elon was tweeting it over and over and over again. And Shiba is pumping without somebody like Elon pumping it. And remember, I just think it's funny. People are saying like, well, why isn't Dogecoin pumping anymore? Why isn't it pumping? I'm trying to find it on here. It's simply because Elon isn't pumping it because that's the only reason it pumped in the first place. Okay, if you look on this chart, all these little, like giant pumps for Dogecoin, it was literally because a single person was pumping it with tweets. And if you're going to be investing in something with the hopes that this person just continuously tweets about it over and over, again, I'm sure you can see why that's a horrible investing strategy there. But with that being said, I think it is worth noting that Shiba is pumping a lot while the rest of the market is consolidating a little bit. But enough about doggy coins. Bitcoin is in such an important place, and I'm extremely ready for this next week of Bitcoin price. So one of the things I want to highlight first off is that after Bitcoin exploded out of this falling wedge back at the end of September, over the last few months, it's been within this pretty much almost vertical parabolic channel to the upside. You can see we've recently broken that. Now, people looking at this might think, wow, is this a big bearish sign? Well, you know, when we started our absolutely incredibly parabolic journey back at the end of, actually almost about exactly a year ago, back in October of last year, we saw something very similar. When we started the massive waves up for Bitcoin price, we saw it explode vertically in the exact same type of channel and then break out of it, okay, consolidate for a little bit, and then enter another vertical channel, do the exact same thing yet again, and then enter another vertical channel. And that's where we saw the 3 months holding around 60K before entering a bear trend for a few months over the summer of this year. So looking at this chart, the last thing that I'm doing is getting scared or bearish about this. And 99% of people will tell you, pretty much anyone with experience in crypto will tell you this kind of like the quiet before the storm. I don't think anyone, except obviously there are people that are always going to be bearish on Bitcoin. And so far they've only been wrong over and over and over again. But they are going to tell you that this is a mega bear sign. But with that, I personally think that over the next few days, I still am hoping, and I still think it's likely that we could still see an entry into the bone zone still slightly below 60K. Now, again, one thing I think is important is that if that would happen, I don't think we would spend a lot of time there. It could be one of those 30-minute situations where we spend 30 minutes there and blow back right above it. But I mean, realistically, guys, we just broke all-time highs just a couple of days ago. And right now we're testing support of where we found resistance for like 3 months back in the summer of this year. So looking at this, there's objectively nothing bearish about this situation. But again, like I just said, with that being said, I'm still hoping, and I think it's very possible that over the next week, we still could see a little more downside. On this weekly chart, the weekly candle is not the most beautiful looking weekly candle, but it's also not some doomsday candle where, you know, if Bitcoin closes where it's at right now, $10,000 is guaranteed by November, right? It's not something like that. But you know, we still could see a few days of pulling back. But again, with that on the 6-hour chart, we have some pretty long hidden bullish divergence being printed as well. And realistically, you know, when Bitcoin's holding around 60K, there's nothing bearish about this. Like I said, though, like if we would print something very similar to like this entire run up that lasted like 6 months, beginning in October of 2020 and ending in like April of 2021, if we see something similar to that, then we could see Bitcoin just, you know, consolidate and form some sort of downward pattern in here. And again, that would bring us down to a level we've been talking about, 57.58, over the next few days, and then blast up again, okay? And again, I think that's more likely than any other scenario. And so with that, I'm still waiting for the bone zone. I was hoping that I could make a video earlier because we came down to it, but we haven't gone down there. So I couldn't make a video talking about the bone zone until now because we still haven't gone down to the bone zone. And what's funny as well, Ethereum, ADA, the two other top alts, really, I mean, nothing has happened. They're still sitting exactly at their, exactly where they were sitting like 48 hours ago. But realistically, looking on this weekly chart, yes, if we closed here, this is not the prettiest looking weekly candle. It really is so insignificant. And I'm sure there are going to be people that are going to try and convince you that this is some kind of doomsday pattern or doomsday candle that will bring the pattern down because their Elliott waves to 10K didn't work. So they're going to maybe use this probably. I'm just assuming just because they're going to do that regardless. But yeah, Bitcoin looks very, very good. As I said, I still think we could spend a few more days here. We have the 21-day moving average right around 58.2, right around 58,000. So again, that's why I was hoping that we could get a move down there. And like I said, if we did get a move down to 58, I wouldn't be shocked to wiggle a little bit below that. But overall, this, in my opinion, is just the kind of quiet, slow consolidation, potentially a little more of a pullback before we start blowing up to the upside and enter an absolutely euphoric stage of this bull cycle. If you get a new channel, make sure to like, subscribe, turn these absolute time-sensitive alerts, as well. If you're interested in any bonuses, make sure to check out the pinned comment below. And as well, we have the new FAQ. It pretty much covers all of the questions that we've gotten. It's always like the same. But yeah, if you're interested in any bonuses, make sure to check out the pinned comment. Without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye.